Welcome to the stream, everybody. We'll get started here in a couple of minutes. Welcome, everyone, to today's live stream, episode 16 of our Starfield gameplay series. I'm Commander Jorval, and I want to thank you all for coming along on our journey today. So, on admin notes, the big news for this week is what you see in the upper right-hand corner. Bethesda released their latest patch, which is 1.8.88, on December 11th, so they released it on Monday. The fixes and improvements were more game-breaking things in this one. It's fairly small. But from a gameplay perspective, when they released the last update, they introduced a bug where you could get random objects. Space debris was the most common thing, things that you would bump into while you're flying around in asteroid fields or in space debris would get stuck to the outside of your ship. And that has been addressed, so once you reload a save now, it should get rid of all of that. They fixed an issue that prevented random weapons from spawning in newly created weapon cases after loading a save. You could drop down a weapon case, save it, reload that save, and a random weapon would appear in it, so it was a way to generate unlimited weapons, so to speak. It was never obviously intended, so they removed that. The last thing was arguably the most important, and this was Microsoft Store and Xbox Game Pass players. There was a pretty serious bug with trying to save and getting a stack overflow, and your game would quit. And this had to do with a syncing issue back and forth between Microsoft and Microsoft servers and your platform, whether it be your PC or whether it be your Xbox. This is not the issue that has the window pop up that says you're almost out of space. You need to delete some of your saves type thing. That is still there and still a function of the fact that you're limited on how much storage space it can sync to Microsoft servers. This was actually a stack overflow. So it was a game-breaking error that would pop up. And they kind of phrased it badly. It was really more of an issue with the number of saves that you have, the length, the size of the save file, not necessarily the number of them that you have. So if you have one save file that you continue adding to over and over and over again, and you don't go through New Game Plus and reset everything, then the variables in it would kind of get out of hand. And it keeping track of all of the entities all over the place would just bloat that file up too much and you get a crash. And that's what it was for. So, again, this is not the issue with running out of space to put your saves on Microsoft server. That's an entirely different thing that's Bethesda does not classify as a bug. So, the full patch notes are up on Bethesda's site. Their Discord server and their Reddit forum are readily available for you to go check out if you have any more questions or things like that about them. It seems most of the staff is probably still preparing for the Shattered Space content, and these are relatively small things that they want to introduce before the holidays. Nobody wants to do a big content drop before the holidays and then have to deal with all the bugs from it while you're on holiday. So the length of this one, people are roasting them all up and down on Reddit and the Discord about fixing these issues. People just really need to understand that this is how game design works. Nobody's going to drop a huge, massive content drop right before the holidays and then not have staff around to be able to troubleshoot that when it inevitably pops up with bugs. So we're not going to get a bunch of those things, but they are going to take the time to roll out small little hotfix type updates like this that fix annoying bugs that people are interested in. And so expect to see this type of stuff going forward for a while. So I think that takes care of our admin notes. So on our recap, the last couple of weeks we have spent on some background tasks to help you learn how certain mechanics work. 2 weeks ago we spent the episode learning how to build a leveling up outpost. An XP farm, for lack of a better term. Just a basic one, just to give you the concepts of how they work. And we did some leveling up. And then last week, sorry about that, I apologize. And then last week, we used those skill points to delve into the research tree and knock out all of our research projects that we were interested in doing. And that was really suit modifications, weapon modifications, and off-stream I did outpost modules. So all of those are completely researched now, and we spent some time modifying our weapons and armor, and I did that a little bit more off-stream to pick up the last couple of mods we were missing. And then we started the Ryujin questline, and we got a tiny bit into that just to fill up the end of our time, and that's where we're going to pick up again today. Here is by delving back into Ryujin Industries. So as I mentioned before when we started this questline is heavily influenced by persuasion checks and by stealth checks. The whole questline is built around those two things, to the point where if you mess up and get detected and you have to end up fighting your way out of a certain quest, your reward is going to be docked because of that. And that is where we're going to continue on today. We need to plant some confidential files in Laredo Firearms to help thwart a business deal, and to do that we need to head to Cheyenne. Now what I want to make sure is that I don't have any contraband. I do not. So we're going to head out from Neon and head over to Cheyenne here. And we're going to land at Aquila City. Okay, and here we go. Didn't want to be up there. Thank you.
And your ship that landed not too long ago? I heard Mr. Right.
UC can't be that bad, can it?
Okay, so the first
So we had to clean up the graffiti.
few of these missions are really introducing you more to the mechanics as opposed to being extraordinarily difficult. This one is obviously above us, so we need to find a way up.
Might want to steer clear of the stretch. Lots of crime over there.
Worse.
Let them. A few beer bottles and graffiti is the least.
Yes, Miss Lance.
Okay, so you want to make sure that you're hidden when you're performing these operations that have the red steel marker next to them. So 5, so this is definitely 3 and 2. So we have to have this one in here. So it looks like this will work. Okay, and then again, we need to steal from this chest here. So we've got 4, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the inside. So 3 and 3 on the inside. So that means it's got to be a combination of these two. Okay, and now from here, inside the chest, we need to put the confidential files in it. Alright, and it's as simple as that. Now, one thing you're going to encounter quite a bit during this quest, during this quest line, is trying to get out of restricted areas through doors and not knowing where everyone is on the other side of those doors. It's a mechanic that I absolutely hate. You can open a door and be face to face with someone because you can't see through the door. It's a rather frustrating mechanic sometimes. So just be prepared for that. If you're... I have said before, I don't ever save scum during my live streams. The exception to that has been the stealth mechanic, because it's been so broken for so long. At the start of the game, it was really hard to even get anywhere near anybody in stealth, even with perfect stealth. So Bethesda adjusted those values to make it easier to stealth around, which was much needed. However, there's still a lot of issues with people being able to see you through walls and ceilings and that sort of stuff. So the stealth mechanics are a little bit broken in a lot of respects. So just pay attention when you're going through this. If you want to do this completely stealth-wise, then you're probably going to be saving and reloading a bit, because there's just some places that...
Can I help you?
It's completely out of your control.
I was hoping you'd show up soon. Is it done? Excellent. I'll let Ularo know that we can start moving forward with our negotiations. Now, I think it's time to examine a different set of skills.
Okay, so as Imogene says there, this is kind of a set of missions to help you, to give you a tutorial, so to speak, on some of your skills that you might not be using up until this point through some of the other missions you've been on.
Nice to see I haven't worn you out yet. Your next assignment is to find the security chief and use some creative thinking to obtain their security keycard. And when I say creative, I don't mean with a weapon. Either look the part and be persuasive, or be quick with your hands. We just need some easy access to competitor security. Sometimes obtaining a legitimate form of access is preferred over brute forcing it. A security chief isn't going to give the time of day to just anybody. A nice suit should do the trick. Or, who knows, some operatives are known to have a security guard uniform or two in their closet they can rely on. Just be careful. Getting caught could mean a mess, and cleanup isn't cheap.
And this is why, again, like I mentioned last stream, you do want to explore the additional dialogue options when you're talking with the quest givers during this quest line. They can give you valuable hints about how to proceed through the mission. And in this case, she lets you know that you can put on a good suit, which most of the formal wear in the game gives you an increased percentage of persuasion chance. Or you can pickpocket them, or you might be able to sneak into another area and take a security guard uniform.
Hello?
To get into that area as well.
Good luck. I'm sure you'll be able to get that keycard without incident. Just remember, if anything does happen, it's up to you to bail yourself out.
Okay. So the optional there is wear a suit or a security guard uniform. Now here we don't have a suit or anything like that. So we can go looking for a suit if we would like. We can also, like it says, just go steal a uniform. And that's what we're going to be looking at doing here when we head out. And this location that you're going to go to, it varies. You're going to get the clinic. Sometimes you can get other locations that you've been to around the major systems. So I'm going to the clinic here, but that does not necessarily mean that you will have the clinic during your playthrough. I've seen playthroughs that go through Hopetown and things like that, so just keep in mind that this might not be the exact same as your playthrough. Okay, so what do I have? Okay, so just that. Let's see, can I access my ship cargo hold from here? I can. Let's look and see if I have anything that gives me increased persuasion chance. I do. I have the Varun ambassador suit here. So that'll give me a plus 5% chance here.
Howdy.
You sure you belong here? Don't even think about trying anything.
Okay. So, not able to talk to him here.
I got my eye on you.
So we're gonna go looking around down here.
Is not suited for addressing concerns. permitted to perform illegal practices without human oversight.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's got to be 3 and 3. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. So again, 3 and 3. It's just which is which. And it's not that one. Oh, it might be this one. It is this one. So, could be that. Or that. Okay, so it doesn't look like he has anything in here. So what we're going to try and do, I don't even know what my... I don't even have a pickpocket ability. I probably should unlock that. Okay, so he's moved away. So I've got a 70% chance to pickpocket this. Okay. So if I didn't want to spend it, then I could continue looking around for a uniform. And he's a Freestar Ranger, so I'm pretty sure that there's an office down here that we visited as part of this. Here's the Ranger office.
Ever run into spacers? Scumbag.
So there might be some locations around here to see if there's a uniform laying around. But either way, we picked our way in. Or we pickpocketed our way in, so we're good. So now we're going to head back. And again, these first few were fairly straightforward. Again, they're more like in-game tutorial missions, so to speak. There's nothing that's too terribly complex about them. But it also gives you the opportunity to unlock certain skills that you might not have unlocked. Like in that instance, we needed to unlock pickpocket or the theft skill. So it gives you an introduction to different ways of doing these things.
Can I help you?
Hey there. Got that key card for me? Now we're talking. Not bad for a novice. I think you're ready to kick things up a notch, and your timing couldn't be better. Good. It's time for a change of pace. This next assignment requires a bit more discretion for 2 reasons. First, you'll be dealing with high-level executives, and second, you'll be in the Astra Lounge here in Neon.
Special project we're working on for Miss Salza?
Exactly. And since you seem to be familiar with him, you probably know how much we don't like to upset him. If you haven't already heard the name Benjamin Bayou, you'd better get familiar. The man runs Neon and has ties to anything significant here, including Ryujin. The trade tower is his baby, and the Astra Lounge is the heart and soul. You do anything to scar that and make a scene, I guarantee it'll come back to haunt us. The assignment is pretty easy. Our techs failed to uncover a potential deal between Infinity Ltd. And Quantum Synergies. Your job is to make sure that deal fails. Infinity Ltd. Is one of our aspiring competitors. They have products in several similar fields, ships and neuroamps being the exception. Quantum Synergies specializes in ship operating software. We don't consider them a major competitor since their product line is so narrow. If the two are meeting to work out a contract, that tells us Infinity must be looking to get into the ship business. And we'd like to delay that, if we can. That's what we're hoping for. You'll be speaking with Quantum Synergy's Executive Director, Zola Adisa, and their Financial Manager, Arthur Cruz. I'll be giving you a dossier on both. I strongly suggest you read them for talking points. I suppose I can give you a brief rundown. We'll start with Zola. Zola is a born and bred executive. It runs in the family, so she's highly accustomed to an upper-class lifestyle. She's a narcissist who's also obsessed with public perception, both of her and Quantum Synergies. She wants to be associated with the latest and greatest, so she's drawn to innovation and quality. She's considered it, but she's next in line to be CEO over at Quantum. If she came here, she'd have to deal with stiff competition. As for her talking points, the key things to remember are, Infinity is the cheap version of Ryujin. They're a follower, not a leader, and they lack any sense of clear vision.
Okay, the information that you're getting here is also contained in the dossiers that you're going to give, and these are specific talking points that you're going to need to know when you get into the conversations with these two people. So either remember these things as you're listening to them, or take some notes, or review them in the dossiers right before you go in to make sure you're selecting the correct options as you go through these. So Infinity is the cheap version of Ryujin. Infinity is a follower, not a leader, and Infinity lacks clear vision.
Just remember, you can refer to the dossier at any time as a refresher. Now, on to Arthur Cruz. Arthur is a self-made man, and he prides himself on that. He's a full package, having both an extremely good knack for numbers and knowing how to talk to people. As Quantum Synergy's financial manager, he's all about driving profit with as little risk as possible. He makes decisions based on facts and heavily researched trends. It sounds like the two of you could really hit it off. Arthur's a great talker, but even the best can lose an audience when finance is the topic. Talking points for Arthur are aimed at steering him toward Ryujin over Infinity Ltd. Ryujin's profits are 25.7% higher than Infinity's, even with a superior quality product. Infinity's profits are fabricated. They're one audit away from ruin. We have a history of being financially secure that's never wavered, and we have the legal and marketing teams to handle anything that might threaten that.
Okay, so again, the same thing. We know that Ryujin's profits are better, that Infinity's profits are fabricated, and that we have the legal means to back up all of our profits and that sort of stuff. So again...
Sounds like you're ready then. I'd still highly recommend reading the dossiers, though. Sometimes bullet-pointed statements can stick out in minds easier than conversation. Exactly. Those lines are most likely to sway Zola and Arthur away from Infinity, not to mention give them a gentle nudge in our direction. The Infinity Ltd rep is Nina Hart. I'll also be giving you an altered version of her presentation to swap out with the original. We've changed several figures, just enough to cause sufficient confusion throughout their meeting. If it's not on her person, it will be in the suite she has reserved. Suites are patrolled, so she'll believe it's secure. If you can't manage to get her room key or deal with the door itself, try Boone Morgan, the manager. Boone appreciates credits, if you know what I mean. Whenever executives are faced with numbers that don't properly match up, any faith they may have had will falter. Finally, I recommend dressing appropriately, so I've taken the liberty of having a suit made for you. We need absolute discretion on this one. I don't want any SSNN broadcasts about murder in the Astral Lounge. Got it?
So if you select what if I'm not really into suits, she'll give you 100 credits as a gift, if you'd like.
You are. Just remember to keep a low profile. Don't let the Astral Lounge distract you too much.
However, we did get the dossiers, we got the fake presentation, and we got the fitted business suit. And for some reason, it didn't recognize the ambassador suit as a suit when talking to the security manager. But the fitted business suit you can see here has a plus 10% persuasion chance compared to plus 5. So it's double the effectiveness of this anyway. So we're going to use that, and we will drop that. Okay, doesn't look like it's going to allow us to drop that back in our ship's inventory.
There's
Interesting.
always work to be done. Pace yourself.
So now we're going to head over to the Astral Lounge. And the Astral Lounge is on the opposite side of Neon from where we are. We've been there before as part of one of our previous quest lines. And now we are going to head over there again. And to get there, you just head all the way down to the end.
Word is the Borealis, you know, DJ? Well, she's moping around because she lost something important.
Now, before I go in here, I do have the dossiers here. And again, these have the same talking points in them. So, Infinity's profits are fabricated, Ryujin's are higher, the marketing legal teams are better at Ryujin and its financial security. And for Zola, they're the cheap version. They're a follower, not a leader. They lack clear vision. And now we just need to influence them both. So we can head over here. Make sure that we're wearing our business suit.
Someone came dressed to impress. Here on business, or just out to escape? Ah, same here. Nothing like a business trip paid in full, especially when there's good downtime. Ryujin Industries. A good guess since we are here in Neon, but no. Infinity Ltd. Risky, you say? By all means, enlighten me.
Okay, so now instead of having just red, yellow, green, you have these light blue options, which are your guaranteed talking point persuasion options.
Cheap is a word quantum synergy should never be associated with. I believed our team had thoroughly researched Infinity, but your comment gives me pause.
Now, if you haven't read the dossiers, these options will not appear in your talking with them. You'll have to do the normal persuasion options here.
Their instability was cited as a pain point, but one we could deal with as long as we maintained control of all joint projects. However, upheaval always comes with its own series of issues, delays, morale, public perception, and Drexler has yet to prove he can provide the consistency that I would prefer. Perhaps it really is more than I'm willing to undertake. A surprising conversation, and one I would never expect from someone such as yourself. I suppose the old saying, never judge a book by its cover, is appropriate here. It seems I have quite a bit to reconsider now. So it looks like the pleasure aspect of my trip needs to be postponed. Thank you for the insight.
But as you saw there, even if you do utilize the talking points out of the dossiers, it still counts as a successful persuasion attempt toward increasing your persuasion skill. Okay, the next one's Arthur Cruz here.
All these years, and Bayou hasn't let this place slip a single notch. The man knows how to run a business. Well, I take that as a compliment. Coming from someone as well-dressed as yourself, you either got great taste or great connections. Maybe even both. Tell me, you don't happen to work for Infinity Ltd, do you? Got something against Infinity, I take it. I'd love to hear your reasons why.
And again, same options with the light blue points from the dossier.
That's an awfully big claim to make. You'd have to have some inside details on their operation. However, it does match some of my own research that I've been conducting into their finances. Aren't you the resourceful one? That number tracks with the insider details I've been getting. Interesting. Look, it was nice meeting you, and I quite enjoyed our little talk. But it sounds like I need to take another look at some data before I head into this presentation of theirs. See you around, and maybe next time I'll be doing business with you.
All right, so the last thing that we need to do is switch out the presentation here.
You're out there a lot, right? In space? Just do us all a favor and never turn into one of those spaces.
And to do that, you have to get into here, and you have to be careful when you're unlocking this. So we've got 5. So it's going to be 3 and 2 in both of these. And just get in the habit of closing doors behind you while you're on these missions, so if somebody's patrolling, they don't see you while you're doing something else or you're in a restricted area. So we've swapped that out, and now here's another one of those doors I was telling you about where you can't see through it. So you have no idea if there's a patrolling guard on the other side or not. In this case, you don't have to worry about it because I don't think this guard actually patrols at all. I think they just stay down here at that corner. But it's going to become much more of an issue as we go through this quest line here today. Alright, so we'll just head back to Imogene here and complete this quest real quick. And I did have a question about this last time with my boost pack. I just have level 2 out of my boost pack. I don't have level 3 or level 4. So I'm not fully maxed out on my boost pack while I'm running around all of the time, but I'm still getting quite a speed boost and the ability to keep going with my stamina and keep running all of the time utilizing my boost pack. So you don't have to have it maxed out. Even the first level in it by itself is enough to keep up your ability to run everywhere.
Ready to report? Well, that wasn't too bad, was it? You're a natural. I'm not just saying that because I hired you. The Astral Lounge can be overwhelming for some, with all its bells and whistles. Tie that in with manipulating people who are the equivalent of their boss's boss, most junior-level ops would start to show their cracks. Overall, not bad for your first high-profile assignment. You even earned yourself a bonus, which Lyndon was more than happy to give. It's well deserved. Just keep making me look good, and there'll be more where that came from. But no rest for the weary at Ryujin. We've got a decent backlog of assignments, and they just keep coming, so I hope you're still good to go. At least this next one will be a break from all the chatter. Your next assignment is to remind the competitor of their place in the corporate food chain. Some call it retaliation, but we like to think of it as tough love. Let's just say we don't tolerate theft or smear campaigns against us. If you want to steal in this industry, you better not get caught. And if you want to tarnish our good name, you better be ready for repercussions. Most corporations live and die by public perception. Trusted products lead to a good reputation, which leads to profits. And, like it or not, we're all here for the profits. Your assignment is to plant an ARC device. The ARC will allow us to frame our competitor for gross negligence and tank the public's perception. You can call it what you like, but most importantly, it's your next assignment. ARC stands for Assault, Reprogram, Corrupt. We think of it as a multi-tool of sorts. The ARC locates hard wiring and manipulates the information current being sent back and forth. Depending on the situation, it's designed to do all sorts of things, but inevitably, they all result in malfunction. Good. All you need to do is plant the ARC on the service panel of your target. We can handle the rest from here. Do your best to make sure you aren't seen. The key is to make this look like a malfunction. And good luck. Keep it up, and you'll probably have my job soon.
Okay, so this one is always at Hope Tech.
Make it quick.
So unlike the previous one where we got sent to the clinic, you might have been sent to Hope Tech previously. This one is always at Hope Tech. Okay, so Hopetown, we've been here before as part of the Freestar Rangers questline, and we ended up killing Hope, the CEO
Keep an eye on your valuables.
here. Now, sometimes when you have completed that, when you enter into Hope Tech here, the two security guards up front will be hostile toward you. None of the other security guards in this place will be, and those two are not supposed to be, but sometimes you'll encounter a bug where, you know, a flag has probably been set incorrectly, and it still thinks that you're trying to kill people inside Hope Tech. So it shouldn't be here, but we'll see what happens when we open this up. We'll actually go into hiding here first. Okay, so yeah, see, we've got that same one again. So we're going to just run away from them. And once you get far enough away, you can go into hiding and wait them out. But none of the other guards that are in here are going to be angry at you. It is only that one, or only those two. So you don't have to play this extraordinarily hard, running around and killing everything. You just have to get away from those two, and those are not them. Those are just workers that were scared off. Okay, so this ship we should recognize. This is where we had the encounter with Hope. Right down here, and we actually had a little bit of combat take place in this ship when a couple of the guards tried to get away from us. We need to go up to the second level, and yeah, you can see Cosette here. I guess we didn't ever loot Cosette. And that is what is causing the bug. If you sided with Hope and you didn't end up killing him, those guards are not going to be hostile. Okay, so now you do have a patrolling guard here, and they will move back and forth. They don't care that you're here. See, they're looking right at me. They're perfectly fine with me being here. This is what you should be seeing from the other two guards up front. Just unfortunately, you're not. So it's not that hard to get away from them. Just be aware that when you walk in, and every time you walk into Hope Tech from now on, you're going to get shot at by those two. So if you need to come back here for anything, you're going to get shot at. So it just is what it is. Once you're hidden, plant the device. And that's it. As long as you're hidden when you plant it, you're perfectly fine. So see, he detected me there. It doesn't matter. So now I don't know if we can fast travel from here or not. We may have to make our way out. We'll see. Okay, we can. But yeah, just be prepared. Every time you come back here to Hope Tech, you're going to get shot at by those two. So just run away, run into the facility, hide real quick, let your stealth mechanic get rid of their alert level, and then you'll be fine to roam around. Now, as soon as they see you again, they're going to get angry again.
There's always work to be done.
Hey there. Got an update for me? Good work. Now I can let Masako know how much she'll enjoy watching the news tonight. Now, on to the next, right? Oh, but before I forget, the results of your Astral Lounge escapades are in. I'm happy to say that the deal was officially called off. Masako was very pleased with the outcome, so she arranged a bonus through Linden. Apparently you said all the right things when it came to Arthur. Quantum Synergies actually reached out to us to negotiate the potential deal. I wouldn't hold your breath on that one. Several other parties will be involved in that deal on a more legitimate level. And believe me, bonuses like this for operatives are few and far between. You earned it. So, back to business. In order to stay on top of the market, we have to know what our competition is doing. The next assignment requires a more brute force approach, since the chances of them sharing that information is unlikely. Correction. You are going to steal from them. Don't forget, if you get caught, Ryujin will deny all knowledge. Good. Luckily, there aren't many, besides the usual. Your target is a prototype schematic for a new engine that Trident Luxury Lines is working on. According to the rumors, it's projected to be 17% more efficient than any engine on the market. The current schematic was sent to their Star Yard to begin prototyping, so they could be in the office area or the factory floor. The Star Yard is a mix of sales floor and manufacturing. If you're looking to blend in, you've definitely got options. It's not too far, in Aquila's orbit, so hopefully your ship's ready. You'll find the Trident Luxury Line Star Yard orbiting Aquila in the Cheyenne system. Remember, same rules apply. Don't get caught, and don't make a mess.
Okay, so again, a stealthy infiltration and theft mission. I want to make sure that I have Digipix left. You're going to start going through these. They provide you Digipix as mission rewards, so you shouldn't run out. But always make sure that you have some in case you're failing your lockpicks. Make sure that you always have some on hand. If you don't, just pop into almost any general goods vendor and you can pick up more of them. But for this one, I believe we're going to need at least 2.
Space. Please hold your current speed and heading while we scan you for contraband. Scan complete. Go ahead and land.
Okay, so we'll head down here to the Star Yards. Hey, Dave, welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. So again, this one is fairly straightforward. Most of the people here aren't going to care that you're here until they notice you do something illegal, like theft or something like that. So you can walk around freely down here. So we need to get in there. And to do that, we have a locked door here. You see, we have people kind of all over the place. Well, you can wait, and she will actually go sit down in her chair. You just have to be patient with her. And you have to be careful for guards sneaking around behind you. You just have to pick your time, and you have to be hidden while you pick the lock, or when you start picking the lock. Anything after that, it doesn't matter. Okay, so if I'm hidden here, I can do it. And she doesn't seem to want to sit down. But you can see instances like this is where things can get a little crazy. Because see, the detection mechanic is kind of flipping out a little bit.
After winning the second Grant Nova Award for Excellence, the whole ceremony seems a trifle long-winded. What are you doing here? Philippe didn't say I should be expecting someone. This is the very heart of Trident, and we don't need strays. Oh, and it tells jokes, too. Well, I suppose since you're here, enjoy being in the presence of greatness. It's here that we create the next generation of Trident starships. Oh yes, I am. I am Gladys Coffin, Chief Architect of Trident. If you have any other questions, make it fast. Listen, if you want to talk about the max safe tonnage of the Astra or other trivia, ask Gia. Me? I design the future. What great new heights we can go to. Oh my, that's just priceless. Balancing elegance with the strict engineering requirements of spaceship travel. That's not science. It's art. An art I'm particularly skilled at. Am I famous? Well, my many, many awards and achievements should give you some idea. Oh, why thank you. Yes, I've recently won my second Grand Nova Award for Excellence. It's a great honor, but after receiving so very many awards and distinctions, they all start to blend together. Yes, I do think I deserve some reward for my considerable virtuosity. I've heard some associates singing the praises of a certain something, hailing from Neon. Velocity, I believe it is called. It's some drink or food or something else. I haven't any idea what it actually is, but my curiosity is getting the better of me. You seem to have nothing better to do. Would you care to go fetch me one of these velocities? I don't much care which variety you get. And of course you'll be reimbursed. Oh, fantastic. I look forward to seeing what all the excitement's about. Yes, yes, goodbye.
Okay, so there she goes. Now she's going to take a seat. And that makes this mission considerably easier. Again, now you just have to watch your back here and make sure that no one's looking at you. But she is no longer going to be looking at you. So it looks like I've got a guard way over there who wants to look me straight in the face. This is the maintaining the edge mission for Ryujin, Dave. Okay, so there he goes. And now I should be safe. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 3 and 2. So it's going to have to be this one. And this only fits here. Okay, and then again, close the door behind you. You have the option here to close the shutters. So go ahead and do that, otherwise they can see you through an open window. And now we need to pick this chest here. So 5, so that's 3 and 2. So it could be either one of these. And it looks like it's going to be this one, so that we can use this one here. Okay. And that's it. So again, it's introducing you to the stealth mechanics and how they work and how you can distract people by talking to them and that sort of stuff. We also picked up a side quest there. I don't normally do a lot of the side quests on stream. I'll be putting out, I do all of them in my personal playthrough. And once those videos go live, you'll be able to look through any particular side quest and get a complete walkthrough on them. But I don't normally do it here on stream.
Speed and heading while we scan you for contraband. And that's it.
And I'm going to head here real quick.
Need something? Yeah? Yeah? Well, then let me spell it out for you. You either walked into the TA to buy some goods, sell some goods, or have some liberated goods taken off your hands for a reasonable price. So, instead of wasting my time making me explain how the business world works, let's get a move on. Now that's what I'm talking about. We both want to make some money, so what'll it be? Always happy to take your money.
So we're going to pick up some more digipicks here. Just to be on the safe side. I don't expect that I'm going to run out. They say these lockpicks are fairly easy and straightforward, so don't expect to fail them, but
if you're looking for supplies, this is the place.
I have done
Welcome
worse.
To Newell's. If you're looking for any specific goods, Rosa and I guarantee we'll beat Sieghart's lousy selection every time.
And there's a whole lot of... There's quite a few side quests that are dealing with all of these conversations.
Oh, I don't have a problem with
So
this
again,
place.
we're not going to be doing any
My
of them,
problem is
but there's a bunch
secretive
of side quests you can pick up
That
here in
man
the
has absolutely
no Neon
respect
Concourse.
for the business community on Neon. He skips merchant meetings and refuses to participate in any of our group buys. Worst of all, he pays off Neon security to keep his place safe. Yeah, sure, if all you care about is yourself. Every payment Sigurd makes validates Neon Security's corruption. He's setting a bad precedent that many merchants are forced to follow. Anyway, sorry. I know I can get a little intense about these things. If you'll forgive the outburst and have a look around, I'm sure you'll find something you might want to buy. Sure, have a look.
And again, we're just going to pick up some more digipicks here.
Tell everyone you know about our store.
But again, the further dialogue options down there are going to open up a quest that is a fairly lengthy side quest that deals with the corruption inside the security here, as well as a gang storyline that goes along with it.
Just the person I wanted to see. You got that schematic? Good work. R&D's been looking forward to this one. I need to deliver this to Vina so she can start the reverse engineering process, but first, Ularu wants to see you. I've upgraded your security level so you can access the executive floor, where her office is. Tell her assistant Maeve you have an appointment. I won't be far behind, in case you get lost.
Okay, so we need to head over to the elevator now, and you're going to see that we have a new floor available to us. The executive offices. Moving up in the world.
I think that was the single most stressful experience of my life.
You killed it.
Can I help you? Name an appointment. Confirmed. Ularu is wrapping up a meeting with Genevieve. You can wait here or in the lobby area. I'll let you know when she's ready to see you. I see Imogene Salso is supposed to be with you.
I'm right here, Maeve.
Good. It should just be a moment. Well, sooner than I thought. Looks like Ularu's ready now.
If they aren't willing, that leaves us with only one option.
Don't wander into any restricted
Ularu.
areas.
Is that always your response? I don't want another PR mess on my hands.
Yes, Viv, because you're too good at your job. Now, we can talk details later. My next appointment's here.
Fine.
I've got my
But you
eye
can break
on
this
you.
news to Alexis at our next meeting.
Good. You're finally here. The one I've been hearing so much about. I'm Ularu Chen, head of operations here at Ryujin. So tell me, what do you think of your new job so far?
And this is because you have points in the theft skill. This dialogue option opens. It's not like, it doesn't mean that you're trying to steal from her.
In that case, it sounds like our initial impression of you is turning out to be quite accurate. Now, my dear Jeannie here says you've been through the basics of what we do and pulled off success every time.
5 successful standard assignments, and 1 specialized.
And on top of all that, a flawless record. It's no wonder they love you up here. I happen to have a personal assignment that I'd like to send you on. One that involves meeting up with an outside contact. Jeannie seems to think you're more than capable of handling it.
She's the best operative I've ever hired.
Let's not forget the only operative you've ever hired. Meeting with outside contacts isn't always as straightforward as your past assignments. Some can be fickle or demanding, so you'll need to decide how to handle them and what decisions to make on the fly. Good, because if not, I can't imagine we have much use for you here at Ryujin. Your contact is Simon Rychek. He claims to have information on a new project that Infinity Ltd is working on. He said it's a game changer that Ryujin would be especially interested in. So his asking price is the big thing to consider. Finance will reimburse up to 1,000 credits. So if you have negotiation skills, use them. Simon's been working with us for years, so he'll pose no threat to you. He's paranoid, which is why I assume he's never been caught. But his information is typically worth it. Now, in order to confirm your identity, Simon prefers code phrases. I'll let Jeannie give you the details on this one because the concept is just beneath me.
Simon is into sports, so he enjoys any opportunity to talk about them. At some point, he'll casually say, "Looks like the Galactic Raiders are the #1 pick for the Universal Championship this year." You get to respond with, "Razor Derby is the only real sport." Got it? You'll find him in Sidonia, so I hope your ship's fueled. Just look for him above the Lux condos in the plaza.
You spoke very highly of this one, Jeannie. Let's hope she doesn't make a liar out of you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some things to take care of.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Okay, so now we're heading off to Sidonia, which is on Mars. And we're looking for Simon, and you're going to need to know that code phrase that you were given. So, again, I hope you remember it or took some notes.
Down near the mines.
Careful near the railings on the upper levels.
And there's Simon up there.
Can't wait to get out of this place. You lost? Or just come to ask an out-of-work miner how his day's going? Only good thing worth talking about these days is sports. Speaking of, looks like the Galactic Raiders are the #1 pick for the Universal Championship this year.
Okay, so this top one here is our conversation option. This is our passcode. In this case, actually, if you do any of the other three, you don't pick the top one, nothing's going to happen. Eventually, this is going to be the only choice left, and you'll end up selecting it to talk to him. So in this case, even if you didn't take any notes on it, you'll eventually get the right answer.
You're damn right it is. I heard they were sending someone new. Nice to see you made it. I have information on a deal being proposed between Infinity Ltd and Deimos Stockyards. It's my belief that your employers would be highly interested in the details. So I'm upping my price. It's steep, yes. But that is why I'm also offering a little side job if you can't pay up.
Okay, so you have a couple of options here. So you can either pay 10,000 credits straight up and get the information. You can persuade him, however, that's going to only drop the price from 10,000 to 8,000. So if you don't have 8,000 credits, even if you persuade him, you're not going to be able to get the information. There is a side job here, and the side job is going to give you access to a ship and a unique weapon that's not legendary or epic or anything like that. It's just unique. So the side job is how we're going to explore this, and so we can kind of explore more of that unique ship and weapon thing. Neither one of them are items that are incredibly good or important or useful, but it is another ship that you're able to get for free.
Damn it. Glad you see reason. As you may guess, being an informant is not without its risks. I've heard there's a merc in Saturn's orbit who'd like to cross my name off her list. Milai Liskova. If you take her out and bring me her gun as proof, I'll consider my fee to be waived. Liskova has a sentimental attachment to that gun. He even named it Ember. She'd never just hand it over. It saved her life once or twice. Seems whenever it falls into enemy hands, it has a tendency to backfire or jam. On top of that, she's superstitious, which makes the gun all the more precious to her. She's a freelance mercenary, used to work for Inception Technologies. But she likes her independence, so she went into business for herself. She specializes in killing for the right price. So before you get any second thoughts, you should think of it as doing the settled systems a favor. Good. Malai's ship is called the Datura. And like I said, you can find her in orbit around Saturn. Just remember to bring the gun back as proof.
Okay, so we have to go meet up with her in Saturn orbit. That's fairly straightforward.
That's about enough. State your business or I open fire. That's more like it. So, tell me what you're doing here. I'll decide whether or not to strip you for salvage.
Okay, so there are several ways to do this. You can just attack her and her ship, and then you can loot Ember out of the wreckage. Or you can do some other options here.
Oh yeah? From what? Yours the only thing around here that looks like a threat to me. So, give me one good reason why I shouldn't feed you to the void. Alright, who sent you? I'm not going to sit here and believe you found me to start threatening me out of convenience. I knew it. You'd think by now he'd realize how futile his efforts are. And you think you can somehow, what, get him to forget a 5-year grudge? Perhaps, but just how do you propose we manage that? Because I intend on staying very much alive. He wants the very thing that protects my life. Of course he does. He knows I would never... Alright. You can have Ember. But you'll have to come aboard to get her. You have my word, you won't be harmed. For whatever that's worth.
Okay, so now you can approach within 500 meters and you'll get the dock button.
Alright, let's cycle that airlock and get aboard.
Okay, and here you're again going to have a couple of different options on how to deal with her.
I'm impressed. Simon managed to find someone with guts to come after me. I suppose it shouldn't surprise me that he wants Ember as proof of this. He knows I'd never part with her. Oh, will you? You really think I'd let you just waltz onto my ship and I'd hand her over? If you knew anything about me, you'd know honesty isn't my strong suit. The only truth here is that I've intended to kill you since the moment you set foot on my ship.
So you have a persuade option here, and you have an attack option here, and more conversation that will lead to either one of them.
I'm pretty sure I've already made up my mind.
I'm still wearing my suit, which gives me a 10% bonus to my persuasion. And we do have an auto persuade stacked up down there at the bottom. So we might as well utilize it since we're only able to stack up one at a time. So we'll use it to end the persuasion right here by taking one of the +4s.
True. I'd hate to misjudge. Okay. Fine. You've compelled me to hold up my end of the deal after all. You get Ember, I'll disappear. Besides, I like to think of this as just a temporary arrangement. She's always found her way back to me before. Why should this time be any different? Oh, don't worry. I see this as some well-needed, dare I say, deserved time off. I'm looking forward to the fresh start. I guess Simon chose wisely. For once. Now get off my ship. I've got an identity to arrange and a vacation to plan.
Okay, now you don't have to get off of her ship. If you sit in the pilot seat, you can now fast travel to any port here. And now, once you're here and you land, Datura, the ship, is now going to be yours. Okay, so Datura is up there on the launch pad. We can go over here to ship services.
We're asking, need some work done?
We can go first to modify our ships. And there's the Datura in our inventory. Now, again, not a great ship by any means. It's slightly better, slightly worse than other ships that we have in our inventory, but the Star Eagle is quite a bit better in every aspect. So what we're going to do with the Datura is just register it. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner, it's worth 14,742 credits. If we register it, it's going to take 12,398. So we can confirm that. And now if we go to ships that you have for sale, you can hit the R key for sell down here. And we can sell off the Datura. We can also sell off the prison shuttle that we picked up during the Crimson Fleet missions. Yes, we do need to change our home ship back to the Star Eagle first.
Okay.
Forgot about that. Do that here on the modify screen.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
Go to sell. And now you can sell the Datura. So it's basically a free couple of 1,000 credits in addition to the mission reward that you're going to get. Now the weapon that we picked up here is Ember. This is a laser pistol. So if you look at our various weapons, we've got Memento Mori equipped here. If you compare Ember to it, you can see that Ember has energy damage versus physical damage. And it has ignition beams. And this is why it's called Ember, is because ignition beams are a mod on laser pistols that give you a chance to set your enemies on fire while you're shooting at them. So here we're doing more damage. We have the possibility of setting people on fire compared with some of the other things that we're getting from Memento Mori, which is really explosive rounds, which go along with it. So kinda depends on which choice you'd like to make as far as your pistol. It's a good starter pistol, but not much really past that, in my opinion. So now we'll head back in here.
Ever been to Aquila?
Stay away from the sixth.
Look who survived the devil herself. Well, either that or you decided to pay up. So, that lying she-devil finally got what's coming to her. I've been looking over my shoulder for the past 5 years now, just wondering when she'd show up to put a bullet in my chest. Oh. The world without Malaya Liskova. It's strange. I always imagined I'd be happy knowing she's gone. Perhaps I've been running so long now that it will just take time for the relief to set in. You know, why don't you keep that gun of hers? I think it's time I left the past behind. Yes, let's. Enough about the past. The information I have is on a deal for something called Project Dominion. I'm giving you 2 slates. They contain surveillance and interaction data for Stanley McMillan, the Infinity rep, that I obtained myself. I'm also giving you a 3rd slate because you're going to need to download the files on Project Dominion off his computer yourself. Best guess is it has something to do with Infinity getting into the neuroamp business. Stanley McMillan seemed to think Ryujin would be the one company threatened by this news, so their entry must involve something big. Nice doing business with you.
Okay, so you can see we were given some items there. So we have a file on Stanley McMillan. This is important to know when he's going to be at work and when he's not. So you'll need to refer back to this. And
What the hell are you doing in this dump of a city anyway? You draw the short stick at work or what? Infinity sent me to get Deimos to bite on a deal. He's even got a catchy code name. Project Dominion. Sounds like world domination to me, buddy. I'd buy into that in a heartbeat. Right? I'm telling you, this Project Dominion is the real deal. We ought to be selling this to Inception or Quantum. Hell, you should be in the Astro Lounge making Ryujin Industries beg for that tech. Ha! That'd be the greatest irony of them all, but not this baby. Dominion is finally gonna put Infinity first. We'll beat Ryujin at their own game.
Okay. So we're going to use his schedule to retrieve the files from his office. Okay, so he's sitting at his desk right now, and we obviously need to get in there. So the first thing to know is what time it is. So right now it is 9:30 local time. And in our notes, you can see that at 11, he leaves for lunch and he comes back at 1:30. So we need to wait until it's at least 11. So that would be 2 hours local time. That would be, 2 hours. That would be 11:30, and he should be leaving for lunch. Okay, so he's leaving for lunch. Somebody else has come out of their office here.
Lots of business operations to operate and all that.
Okay, but we can stay hidden and hack his computer. So this is going to be 3 and 3. Okay, so it's not that one. So it's going to be this one and this one. Okay, so we have Project Dominion here. So we have 5. So that's 3 and 2, so it's definitely going to be this one. Okay, so we're going to download the files. You can read through the other things here that are in his inbox, but none of these matter. But I will open them all up. Y'all can, if you want to read more about what's happening here, you can read through these. You can pause it and read through them, but there's nothing there for you that impacts the mission. And now we're done. Okay, so now we'll head back here and turn this in. And before I do that, I apologize. I just got a text message here. I'm gonna have to respond to, so give me just a second here. I apologize. Okay, sorry about that.
Well, that took longer than expected. I hope whatever information Simon had was worth it. Project Dominion? That can't be right. Give me a moment to run a decryption. Let's see. Got the key, deciphering, and done. Well, well, well. Looks like our friend Simon wasn't joking. Project Dominion isn't an Infinity LTD prototype. It's one of ours. They didn't even bother to scrub the name, meaning someone never thought they'd get caught. Come with me. Masako needs to hear about this.
Don't cause any trouble.
Hey, Ularu? What is this about? Who is this?
This is our latest junior operative. I sent her on an assignment to rendezvous with an informant. But here's the real news. Infinity LTD has gotten their hands on Project Dominion.
Impossible.
Not only that, they're trying to sell it under their own name.
Of course they are. We need fines to investigate this immediately. Since you found this information, I am trusting you to help investigate. You see, Project Dominion is confidential. It requires a high security clearance to even know it exists. If Infinity LTD has obtained any information on it, that means we have a very well-connected mole within our corporation. I suppose, since we're trusting you in this investigation, I can give you some details. Project Dominion is our latest advancement in neuroamp technology. Our current neuroamps are all external devices, but Project Dominion would be the first surgically implanted internal neuroamp on the market. The project itself was nearing completion, which is why exposing the mole is of utmost importance. We can't allow any more research to fall into their hands. Exactly. I want you to go see Dalton Fiennes, our Chief Security Officer. I'll send him the details. You've brought an enormous security violation to our attention, so I trust your help in any way possible. And thank you. Some operatives may have seized this as an opportunity for extortion. It's good to know your loyalty lies with us.
Okay, so Now we're on to... And you saw that we did get some digipicks there as a reward for that. And now we need to head downstairs.
Good. You're here. So, thanks to your work in Sidonia, I'm told someone here has leaked information on Project Dominion to our adversaries at Infinity Ltd. A mole within the company means a failing in my department.
We're initiating Security Directive Theta, which means a full sweep of every employee in this building, Masako and myself included.
Directive Theta allows for a third party to conduct the sweep. This way, the results can be objective. It's certainly a failing. But for now, we're focusing on redemption. Directive Theta has one unique case, and that's Ularu Chen. The directive calls for a specialized programmer known as Nix to investigate her. But he'll need your assistance for an unusual assignment. We don't deal in trust here. Think more in terms of mutual benefit and leverage. And in this case, it's mutual benefit. Nix will be giving you a program to run on Ularu's computer that will pull any data needed to prove her guilty or innocent. Your job is to infiltrate Ryujin Tower as an anonymous outsider in order to run this program. Completely off the books. This means your keycard will be turned off, and the security guards in the building will consider you to be trespassing. We employ over 100 members of our security team who rotate floors and shifts. It's possible you'll be recognized, but even so, my orders will be strict. Authorized security personnel only. And you certainly won't qualify, making you an immediate suspect. If you get caught, the guards will follow standard procedure and lock you up in a cell for questioning. Provided you don't provoke them. And I strongly advise against provoking them. These are your fellow employees. We want this to go as smoothly as possible. At least one of us is. In the meantime, I'll ensure all non-essential employees, Ularu included, have left the building, claiming routine security maintenance. During that time, I'll be unlocking access to the tower's ventilation system, which you can utilize to help avoid detection. I'm also issuing you a disruptor, which should help in avoiding casualties should a worst-case scenario turn up. Good. No one can know about this, not even our own guards. So stealth will be of utmost importance. You'll meet Nix at Madame Sauvage's place. He knows Directive Theta has been enacted.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting. You can see that we were given a new weapon. We were given a Nova Blast Disruptor. If you don't have an EM weapon yet, and we were given one as part of the UC questline, this gives you another one. And EM weapons are basically stun weapons. They knock your enemies out, but they don't damage their health. When you attack someone with them, you'll see a blue bar pop up as you're shooting at them, and once that blue bar fills up, then they will fall to the ground immobilized. And that bar will start dropping down until the point where they get back up and resume their duties. So it's kind of a non-lethal way to go about this particular portion of the questline, and that's why you were given it, because you don't, even if you get caught, you don't want to go around killing all of these guards that are in here, because they are with your company. So we're gonna head over to Madame Sauvage's place. And talk to Nyx.
Inside's a bad place for tourists these days.
Neon's the only place where my talents are actually respected. You got an appointment? 'Cause if not, consider this area reserved. Oh yeah, Dalton's little errand runner. I've written up a program just for the occasion, but as Ryujin knows, it's yours for either a price or a favor.
Okay, so again, we have multiple options here on how to play that. If you do the Persuade option, it's very similar to the last time that we had a Persuade option. You're not going to get off scot-free. However, it will reduce it to only 1,000 credits. Or again, you can do a favor here. This favor is going to take you on a little side quest to gather some information about people. And that information might not necessarily be used in the greatest of ways to benefit Ryujin. So I'm going to go with Persuade here.
Oh,
and see if I can persuade him to drop the price. Okay, so we need 6 here.
I hear you. I'm still willing to talk.
Okay, so I'm going to try and do a 1 here, and then maybe a 1 or 2 next time.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, so we got a 2 here.
Maybe we can work something out. Alright, you win. No wonder Ryujin hired you.
Okay, so there's the 1,000 credits it now drops down to.
A pleasure, as always. Your job is simple. Just run this little beauty on Ularu Chen's computer, and the program will take care of the rest. Once you're done, bring the slate back to me at my place. Whatever encryption Ularu has is bound to take some real work. More than my little setup here can handle. It's nice to see you know more than just sneaking around and talking a good game. Here's the slate. I'll be waiting.
Okay, so now we need to start the stealth portion of this mission. And the first part of it is getting up to the roof here.
What time is it?
And you basically find the stairs here and head up as far as you can go. Okay, now before I embark on this, I'm going to unequip all of my armor. Here. Armor, actually I'm going to leave my boost pack on. Your spacesuit is a detriment to your stealth skills. It makes you easier to detect. So leaving your boost pack on is going to make you easier to detect, but you're going to need it in various portions throughout this infiltration. So as far as the rest goes, you're not going to be needing any persuade. Well, you do possibly need to pass a persuasion check if you get caught while you're in here. So I'm going to leave the business suit on while I do this. Now that's going to mean that if I do choose to get into a fight, then I'm going to be taking more damage than normal because I don't have a spacesuit to mitigate any of that damage. So you need to be careful and watch your health if you're going to do it this way. Don't necessarily need any more crafting supplies. Okay, so now from here on out, you're going to be in stealth almost all of the time. Okay, so this room is fine. You don't have to worry about anybody in here. You can look around if you like. But where you need to go is not through the door there. Take the credits. Need to get here. And the other thing you need to watch out for, is try and use mantle as much as you can. If you jump, you'll stay hidden. Well, actually, let's write it down here. If you jump, you stay hidden. If you jump and activate your boost pack, you do not stay hidden. So move up close to objects and jump to get the mantle cue when you're going through this. To stay hidden. Okay, so now as you're progressing through this, you're going to see these panel doors where you can use to power down the lighting on the floor. That's going to, again, make you significantly harder to detect. So you definitely want to do these whenever you see them. And now here's again another one of those doors, like I was telling you, that you can't see anything through, so you have no idea who's on the other side of this door. And this is why things start to bug me about these quests here, is because you're trespassing. So if they see you, you're instantly caught. But you have no idea who might be patrolling on the other side of this door. Okay, so we've got one here. Okay, now in this room here, you want to activate the drone demo program. And that's going to take that drone there and send it down there and occupy the guards. So that you can head here through the stairs. Okay, so we're going to head in here. And there's a hatch in the ceiling. Takes us into another set of vents here. Okay, so again here we have another panel door. And we can power down the floor lights here. Okay, so here actually, I don't know if we... Let me go check the other way real quick. And make sure. Okay, this is the one that you want to go down into the cafeteria. Okay, so there's a guard down there. Okay, he does seem to take off, so what you want to make sure that you do is get through this area while he's gone, because you can see, you'll see him, see there's a guard over there, and you'll see him come back around and wait at that same spot. Okay, there he is. And he'll sit there and he'll turn around. So what you need to do is follow up behind him, sneak into one of the offices, and then wait for him to pass back with his, and when his back is turned, head off as well. So we're going to follow around behind him. Okay, we're going to wait here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the inside. So that one would work, and that one would work. And then it's got to be these two. So it's here, 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 and here. Okay, stuck behind the door. You don't have to close the door. Okay, so there he is. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to follow around behind him. Again, you can sneak out there and around, but his back is going to be turned when he rounds that corner, and we're going to head around and go to the right. If you took the request from Nyx, this room is where you need to hack a computer to complete his quest line, or to complete his little side favor. Okay, and now that we're here, back is going to be turned, and we'll head over here to this door. And again, make sure you're closing everything behind you as you go. You don't necessarily have to close the vents, it's just force of habit. Okay, now in this room, where you're going is over in the far corner from here. There's a medical room that you're going to be getting into, but to do that, you want to head down here, and there is a vent right there. You can see it through the door that you want to get to. The robots in here that are wandering around, they don't detect you, so it's not that big of a deal if they see you. But the guards, you don't want them to see you. Not entirely sure why my detection meter went way up to caution there. Again, the whole stealth thing is a little bit buggy sometimes. So again, use the mantle to get in here instead of my jump pack. Okay, now you have another panel door here. So we have 4, so we're 2 and 2. And again, we can power down the floor lights. Okay, and that's where you're going, over there. Now, there are some guards in here, but you're going to try and get in that room over there because there's a vent that we're going to need to climb to. Okay, so you can carefully kind of sneak your way out here. There's a guard that patrols over here. right there. There's a robot there. You can wait for the robot to pass you and then turn its back on you. There it is. Now you can wait for it to head back. And you should have a fairly clear shot to the vent that's up the stairs. Okay, you want to get up top, up there. There is another guard that's up top there. So you can go around here. Or we can not. This guard turned around and went to the left, so hopefully we'll be okay. Yep. And there's the vent that we want to get into. Okay, so we're doing all right. Not too bad. Okay, so now we have this area here, and you can see we're in the main lobby of the executive floor, so we are getting pretty close. And again, using the mantle, not the jump pack, we can make our way across here without being seen. Okay, now there is another way that we can... There's another panel over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 and 4 on the inside. So it could be this, and then it would need a 3 that's pretty spaced out. And we don't have it. Okay, so it must be this. Okay, so it fits this way. That'll work. And then this one is that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the outer circle, so 3 and 2. So it's going to have to be this one, and that only fits in here one way. Then this, and this. So again, can make it significantly easier to sneak around in here. Now, there's a few different ways you can go about getting over to this area, but you can just drop down and sneak over to the staircase there and walk around. Okay, we do have a patrolling guard there. that will start moving as soon as you drop down. You want to make sure that once you're here, you keep moving. And now you're going to run into here, and approach this with caution. You can look through this little slot here. And you can see the guard right there. Okay, we want to get up there. So we're going to wait for the guard to go over and stand at that location. And we want to maximize our time here. So we're going to wait for him to come back. And then we're going to wait for him to take off again. And like I say, you'll be able to see him through this little slot here. You're okay. You don't have to worry about anybody coming up behind you. But as soon as we see him start to walk off, we're going to head around this corner and head for that office. Okay, he took a different path this time. So I'm not going to press my luck. Okay, so there he is. Okay, so there he goes. Okay, so we ran the rover program. You can unlock the workspace here. It's a master lock. I don't believe you gain anything from it. We've got plenty of digipicks, and there's 2 more on the desk, so we might as well see. But I don't think there's anything here. We got 3 that we need, so that's going to be 2 and 1. Actually, we'll use these 2. So that one and this one for the inner ring. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So could be 3 and 3 if it happened to work with these 2, but I don't think it does. No. So it's going to be 4 and 2. And it's not that one. Could be that one, and then we would need 2 by itself, which is this one. Okay, yep. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So could be the other 4 and 1. Okay, so that works. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do have another 1. So that'll do it. Okay, and then here and here. Here and here. Here and here. Okay, so again, more messages and that sort of stuff that's in here. If you want to read these, you certainly can. Okay, so yeah, nothing in here that you need. There's a few things you can do in here. First, there's a couple of digipicks. Second, you have some weapons that you can pick up here if you'd like, and some ammunition to go along with them. You also have a safe here you can steal from. So the inner ring is 4. So it's going to have to be 2 and 2. So that one and this one. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 and 2 or 3 and 3. Doesn't look like 3 and 3. There, that one's going to work, so it's going to have to be 4 and 2. Or did it? Nah, here's the other 3 and 3. So this one and that one. And now there is a hatch in the corner of her office. Okay, and that one you're going to have to make a boost jump to get up to. Just make it quick and you'll be fine. So now I believe with this all you have to do is keep walking straight ahead here and it should lead you back to the roof. So here I have some things that you can pick up as your kind of rewards. Okay. And from here, it doesn't matter. You're no longer inside of there, so you're perfectly fine to come out of stealth. You can put your spacesuit back on and all of that sort of stuff because you're not in any danger anymore of being caught. So, successful. So now we just need to make it back, and this is where we started. Oh, we need to go back farther down. The stairs? It's, Hey, David, welcome to the stream. Sorry, I was a bit concentrated on that, so I don't ignore my chat, but was a bit concentrated on what was happening there, so I'm doing good. Thanks for being on the stream. And yeah, XL, thanks. I appreciate that. It's some of these stealth quests here for Ryujin can get a little bit tense. So it can, concentrate on it a bit and hope that you're going to be okay. So is basically how it works out. It's a fun quest line. You do get some really good rewards, especially if you're gonna go down kind of the stealth options, which I've always liked in Bethesda games. So if you're gonna do stealth options, this is a great quest line to do early, because you're going to be getting a piece of clothing that really can help you out with stealth.
I'll never leave Neon. For someone in my business, there's no better place. So, you made it. Guess Ryujin security really is slipping. Just brimming with confidence, aren't you? But I've seen your work in the trade tower, so I'll at least give you some credit. Now, I'll take that program back that I gave you, and let's give the data a look.
Yeah, XL, if you're going to do the quest line, then having points into stealth is a really, really good thing to have. I recommend doing this with at least 50%, but the rank 4 doors you interact with while in stealth no longer alert enemies. That will make these quests significantly easier. So, if not, you really have to time opening doors so that the guards don't hear you when you do that. And that the same goes for vents. So having rank 4 in stealth before you do this quest line certainly is going to make it quite a bit easier for you.
The program I gave you to run on Ularu's computer basically opens an all-access backdoor for me. I can see everything and anything, so let's take a look. Ularu has some impressive encryption on her files. Not that I can't crack it, of course. Circumventing protections, running decryption. This should just take a moment now. Damn, I'm good. That went faster than I thought. I'm saving several files to a slate for Dalton, including access history and anything related to Project Dominion. Adding in new encryption for him as well, so he's the only one that can view these. And done. You're all set. I've got the new encrypted slate. Let me tell you, it looks like fun times ahead for Ryujin. Technically, I'm not supposed to look, but it's kind of hard to not see what's going on while running all my software. You do that. Here's the slate. As usual, always a pleasure doing business with Ryujin.
Okay, so now let's head back to Dalton. And we can turn this in.
That side's a bad.
And now we're going to start getting into, let's check and see how many. So we did get an increase for our lung capacity here. Or we unlocked the next level for it. But I wanted to look and see how many digipicks we have. We have 9 left, we're fine. So just to expand on the skills a little bit, we've unlocked the next rank of weightlifting. The carrying capacity inside here, how these work, just in case you're not aware, is these do not stack. So in other words, you don't get 10 extra kilos at rank 1 and then 25 additional for a total of 35 after this, and then another 50 for 85, and then 100 for 185. It doesn't work that way. These replace each other, so your total carrying capacity goes up by these numbers. 10 and 25 kilograms doesn't mean a whole lot when you're dealing with your carrying capacity. However, 50 and 100 certainly do. These are big increases that you're not going to get through armor mods and that sort of stuff, which really can help you carry more items. So increasing these can certainly be a benefit to you as you're going through. The things that I'm going to be saving some of my skill points are for increasing my combat skills. I've told you the path that I'm going to go. I'm going to go through ballistics. So I'm going to unlock rank 3 here and rank 4. That I don't have to unlock rank 4 in ballistics. If I don't want to. That increases my range, which is certainly great. Don't get me wrong. But because my background as a point in dueling, I can unlock rifle certification without having to unlock rank 4 of ballistics. And this will start immediately upping my damage here. And then once I get up to rank 3 here, I can then instead see if I have that last point in ballistics available to me. And that will give me a total of 8 points. And then I'll be able to move into sniper certification to start increasing my headshot critical chance damage and my damage when using the scope on my weapons. And then once I've unlocked that, I'll be able to move into sharpshooting, which increases my headshot damage, which is the main thing. And then if you want to continue on to rank 3 or rank 4 to increase your critical damage and crit chance, you certainly can. But these are the ways to really increase your damage if you're going the build I am, which is the long-range stealth scoped weapon type of build. Kind of the equivalent of the stealth archer build from Skyrim. So I'm going to hold off putting more carry weight points in there for now. I may go level up some more using my outpost and drop a point in there into carry capacity because it is very useful. But I want to save the majority of my points for the weapon level ups now.
Ryujin,
You have the files. I assume you were successful. I didn't get any incident reports last night, so I applaud your work. I expected as much. Now, let's see what we have here. I didn't think it was possible. But someone's been accessing Ularu's files remotely. It's quite a complicated trace, too. I'm impressed Nyx was able to track all of this. Damn. And there's our culprit. Imogene Salzo, Senior Operations Specialist, and one of the few I had in mind for who could pull this off. Well, she has the means and access. But things are rarely so cut and dry. Well, before we make any harsh decisions, I'll need to question her myself. I want you to head to her office and escort her here. We have to make sure she doesn't try anything before I have a chance to speak with her. If she runs, the guilt will be apparent. And you'll have no choice but to dispose of her. As much as I'd like you to subdue her and bring her in, Imogene would never allow it. She knows what fate lies ahead for those who betray this corporation and get caught. Good. When you're dealing with corporate workers, discerning the truth from the lies is the hardest part.
Okay, so that's interesting. Imaging is somehow behind all of this. Seems a little odd. So, but let's go back to the elevator and go talk to her and see what she has to say.
Supply chain disruptions in the Cheyenne system?
I hate being stuck in the office.
Let me guess. Looking for Imogene? Try not to harass my techs too much. They have work to do. I'm sure you can tell by now. She isn't here, which is a shame since I have several documents I need her to sign off on. She's always been the master of avoiding desk work. I'm not even sure that's any business of yours, but I do enjoy keeping close tabs on my counterpart. Dare I ask why you need to know? Yeah, no thanks. Getting information out of Dalton is like talking to a wall. Besides, speculation is far more fun. I have Imogene's last location at Frankie's Grab and Go, which we all know is a front for the Sioka Syndicate. You'll want to get executive sign-off if you plan on chasing after her. I'd say Dalton is your best bet. Good. I'd hate to see what sort of drama might get stirred up if you went around him. Or maybe I'd love it. Keep the workplace interesting, right? Good luck finding Imogene. Oh, and if you do catch up with her, be sure to let her know I had everything to do with it.
Okay, so she's no longer here. And she was at a front for the Sioka Syndicate. So let's talk to Dalton here as part of the optional.
No Imogene, I see. Could she really be onto us already? Of course, Yuko would know. If Imogene's with the Syndicate, I can't just send you after her. You'll need to speak with Benjamin Bayou. We have to make sure he's aware of the situation. If we're lucky, he may even help us get to Imogene. Good, because without it, this adds a complexity that we do not have time for. Head over to the trade tower and be discreet. Let Bayou know that you're there on Ryujin's behalf. He may ask for credits or even a favor. Just give him what he wants. The sooner, the better. We don't want to give a clever mind like hers any more room than we have to. Just be sure to bring her back here in one piece. If she's truly the mole, she'll have a lot to answer to. If she resists or tries to run, we have no choice but to take it as an admission of guilt. I'm afraid you'll have to dispose of her. The risk of Imogene continuing to operate as a traitor is too high. If we don't dispose of her now, she could cause a great deal of harm to this company. She knows the consequences of betraying Ryujin, which makes her dangerous. If the situation does take a turn for the worst, I only ask that you perform a thorough search for any evidence she may have in her possession. I trust you won't let your past relationship cloud your judgment.
Okay. So now we have an optional to talk to Benjamin Bayou. And there are a couple of different ways that this can play out. Okay, so our optional to talk with Benjamin is up here. This is in the Astral Lounge. And this is what we were recommended to do. You can, however, just go right on and try to find Imogene in the Sioku hideout. The difference, there are two differences here. The first is that if you go, well, if you talk to Benjamin here, you can get the option to get his approval to pass freely through the Sioku hideout. If you don't get his approval, you can still go to the Sioku hideout, but you're going to have to sneak your way and or fight your way through the entire hideout because everybody's going to be hostile towards you.
I don't recall sending for anyone. What do you want?
Okay, so here, if you start out with Dalton Fine sent me.
No. I can always make time when it comes to an old friend. So, what would be the reason? I may consider Ryujin an ally, but Dalton especially knows I don't give anything blindly.
Okay, so now you have two different options here. If you say take it up with Dalton, you are not going to get his permission to go through the hideout, and it will unlock another quest after this one where you have to repair relations. The Ryujin relationship with Benjamin Bayou. That quest isn't really... there's not a whole lot of reward, major reward out of doing it, but you certainly can.
You're going to just stand there looking stupid, or are we having a conversation?
If you go straight to the Sioku hideout from here, it doesn't unlock that quest. He will have no idea that you were even here and not part of it, so he won't realize that there are damaged relations to repair. So if you want the additional quest, and you want to make this quest significantly harder on you, then you can tell him to take it up with Dalton, and then you have to sneak and or fight your way through the hideout, and then when you're done, you're going to have to complete a quest for him. We're going to actually tell him that we're after a suspect.
As long as it doesn't involve the syndicate members themselves. I'll tell you what. I'll make sure the syndicate lets you in hassle-free, provided you do a little something for me.
Okay, so now you have the option to do a side quest for him, or to persuade him to let you in.
And what mutual benefit would that be? Of course. Ryujin's success always pays out when it comes to neon profits. I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here. I'm trying to be reasonable here. All right. You talk a good game. And I suppose if we're looking at a mutually beneficial situation, there's no reason for me not to allow such a small favor. Check in with Ms. Moore at Frankie's. I'll send word along that you're to be expected, so she shouldn't give you any trouble. Fair warning, the Syndicate should let you search any common areas, but if anyone catches you snooping around private quarters, I'll just say, be prepared for some hostilities.
Okay, so that's also key in that you're not given free reign to go wherever you want inside the hideout. So now here, going to do the same thing as last time, but here if you get caught, you don't have to necessarily worry about knocking people out. These are the Syndicate, they are not Ryujin employees, and while killing them is not necessarily something that you want to do, it's going to lower your payout on the mission. It doesn't necessarily affect Ryujin very much. So you can just go loud if need be.
Inside's a bad place for tourists these days.
Okay, so again here, going to have two different options.
I have some sleep crate units available for rent.
So Frankie's grab and go, or find some other way into the hideout to make your way through it. Now you can certainly still take this option, and to do that you're going to need to head up to the roof again. I believe it's down here around the corner. No, it's not. Make your way up to the roof again, and there's an entrance up there that you'll need to use to get into the top of the Syndicate hideout, and you can sneak your way around from there. There is also an option to pickpocket her and take the Sioku Syndicate keycard. I will warn you, that thing says it's got a 70% chance of success. I find that to be a little dubious. I failed that check 10 times in a row and succeeded on my 11th out of a 70% chance. That's some pretty horrible RNG if it truly is that way, but just be prepared if you're going to try and pickpocket it and go in that way that you want to be
Better have credits to
that you want to
spare.
save before you do it.
You lost, kiddo? Oh, so you're the one getting special treatment. Don't look like much to me. I've got one rule for you in there, so it shouldn't be hard to remember. 3rd floor is off limits. They catch you snooping around, and it's open season. That's what I like to hear. For the record, I'm only granting you access because I have to. You'll find that young lady you're looking for holed up in a room almost straight ahead. Just remember to keep your eyes on the prize. The less you consider this an open house, the better.
Okay. Yeah. Hey CK, welcome to the stream. Yeah, seems to be that way, doesn't it? We'll let Lae'zel pickpocket the key card. That'll work out just about as well. So, if you come in from the roof, you're going to end up here, and you will sneak your way past the gangsters. And while I'm going through this, I will kind of walk you through the sneaking part. You can sneak through here without a problem. You will not want to make your way through here. There are too many guards all over the place. So you will sneak your way up here. Do not go up there because there's a gangster looking right at you. And as soon as you cross into that third floor, that gangster's looking at you to keep even me right now from going up there. But you don't want to go up there. You want to watch this syndicate member here. And as soon as she sits down, you can sneak your way through here. These two will stay here. And you can sneak your way past this one until you get up to here. Now here, there are two that you have to worry about. And the main one is the hitman here. This gangster here will normally take off once you've gotten close. But this one here, and see this one's moving away now. He will move around here and make his way down that hallway. Once he does, you can sneak through here and you can come over to this side. He's going to stop right there. You can now sneak your way over to here so that you're hidden. They cannot see you through the glass. And then he will come back and he will go that way. And you can wait for him to get past the edge there, and now you can sneak around through here. Now, once you're here, you've got this guy working out, and you've got another one over there that's going to be working out as well. He's going to get on the bench. Okay. And what you can do is when you come in here, okay, and I'm just checking these to make sure I didn't miss something in my personal playthrough. I didn't. So once you come into this room over here, you're still in stealth, and you can do one of two things. Now, if you go up there again, you're going to have somebody looking right at you. That's the third floor. You don't want to go up there. So what you want to do is come over here when they have both moved there, and you want to jump up on top of this walkway here. That walkway is going to carry you through all the way around this upper floor. And you can take it all the way into that hallway. And that's going to drop you down here. Now you still have to wait for him to move away over there before you drop down. When you do, you drop down here, you're in stealth, and you can go up and open the door. Okay. Now, the bad thing about that is that this is not a door you can open like a physical door.
Not that I thought I was safe, but I never expected anyone to just slip by all the syndicate here.
This is a door that leads you into a whole new area, so you can't see out of this. So that guy who's sitting there standing up and sometimes laying down on the press bench, you don't know where he's at. So when you exit out of here, there's a random chance he's going to be standing up there looking right at you, and he breaks your stealth and you have to fight your way out. It's another one of those things that I don't like about this particular mission. But if he's not looking at you, then you jump up into that vent again and make your way out the exact same way you came in. It's a tough stealth mission, I'm not gonna lie.
I had a feeling you'd be the one to come after me. I know this doesn't look good, but I had no choice. Ularu set me up. Yes, I've been acting as a double agent, but because she ordered me to. The assignment was meant to deceive, not benefit. And Project Dominion is way above my pay grade. It'd be impossible for me to deliver it. At least, intentionally. Look, I only know about Project Dominion because I wanted to know exactly what I was being accused of leaking. But that tech is dangerous. An internal neuroamp that can theoretically control other people? If the evidence points to me, it's because Ularu used it to set me up. What better way to frame someone than to take control of their mind and have them actually perform the actions? Because she knows I'm the most believable target. I'm the only one at Ryujin with the skills to even come close to being able to pull off a job like this. Power, of course. Corporations maintain their success by any means necessary, but there are some measures Masako is reluctant to take. You may have noticed that none of your assignments directly involve murder. Masako reserves those actions only when it's absolutely necessary. Ularu sees this as a sign of weakness that needs to be dealt with. It's the only scenario that makes sense. Besides, what's my motive? My career is solid at Ryujin. Infinity can't possibly beat my current benefits. Believe me, after having to play double agent, I've learned all of this firsthand. That's exactly what I've been doing here. Ularu has the skill to pull this off, but she's also been behind the desk for years now. I knew she'd miss something. This slate holds all the evidence against her. I just need you to deliver it to Dalton. It's the only way I can prove I'm innocent.
Okay, so again, you have options here. You can play this out and ask her to come along with you. She will refuse to come along with you no matter what, or you can just attack her as a traitor and play it that way.
I was hoping you would. I'm still going to lay low until I hear the coast is clear. As long as Ularu still thinks I'm on the run, she'll remain confident that her plan is working. And I know you don't hear it much around the office, but thanks.
Okay, so now we need to go back to Dalton, and here's what I mean. We're going to walk out here and we'll just randomly see where this guy is. So there we would have a split second, because as soon as he turns and walks toward the door, I'm going to get seen. So there we would have just a split second to move over here and jump to get up there. Now that takes a boost from your boost pack. So you're going to come out of stealth as soon as you hit the boost. And as soon as you do, he's going to see you and it's going to alert everybody down here. So that would have been a fail right there. You can only come out when he's over there laying down on that bench, and he doesn't lay down for very long. So it's kind of a stupid mechanic. I really hate that part about the quest, is that your mission can come to a quick end here through no fault of your own, just by the timing of when you come out of that door. Now remember, Bayou gave us an option to complete a side quest for him, and that is to get a slate, and that slate is in a room up on the 3rd floor. Now again, I told you that if you go up on the 3rd floor, even if I go up there right now, I do not have permission to be up there, so everybody's going to become hostile. But for you, sneaking around up there is incredibly hard. The only way to sneak around up on the 3rd floor is through that vent right there. So if you come in here and you jump up on top of this walkway, or on top of this walkway here, you can make your way down to this intersection. You can cross over there and head this way back to this vent. So whereas you went that way to get to Imogene, when you come out, you can head that way to the vent to go over and sneak your way through the floor to pick up the slate for Benjamin Bayou. Once you pick up that slate, you can actually ask him to give you some more money, and he'll give you an extra 2,500 credits or something like that before you actually have to hand it over. But the whole stealth mechanic for that part is, like I say, it's pretty hard going through all of this in stealth. Especially doing it without what we're going to be given fairly quickly here. And for that, we're going to head back out and see Dalton. And again, you will make your way all the way back down the stairs, out here, and through this way. Now, when you're coming out from stealth,
You're dead.
the stealth route, you can drop down. There's a vent, or you can drop down the stairs right here and come into this corner. And when you do this, this guard will be gone, and these two will be over here, and you can sneak your way in through here to get over to that other side and get out that way if you'd like. I find it's just easier to go back out the same way you came in, through the vent here and out through the roof. But yeah, CK, it is a complex set of stealth here. They've been slowly trying to build you up. I'm talking to Dalton, right? Yes. So we'll head here. Sometimes the neon blue quest markers get confused because there's so many entrances and exits to different levels here. But yeah, they've been slowly trying to work you up to more and more complex stealth mechanics. And sneaking through that hideout is one of the harder ways to go about it. It's not the hardest. We're going to come up to that on our next mission, which is where we're going to start off next live stream. But we'll go turn this quest in.
Well, look who's back. So tell me, what did you find out? I had a feeling you'd say that. Enjoy your time with Dalton. It'll all trickle back to me sooner or later.
I mean, that's a good question, CK. For the most part, it's really trial and error. In my personal playthrough, I quick save every time I get past an encounter. So if I see a guard, I'll quick save before I try and sneak around that guard until I see if it's just that guard or if there's another one later on that I have to look at or avoid. And then once I get to what I think is at least a safe spot to pause, I'll quick save again. And normally what I'll do is I will alternate between quick save and a full save. So that way I'm not overriding my quick save and I thought I was in a safe spot, but then it turns out a split second later, somebody comes around a corner and I'm not safe anymore. And then all I have left is that quick save and I just overrode it. And if I load it again, it's going to put me right back in that same situation. So I tend to kind of work them out by moving from safe spot to safe spot. In the military, we were taught to take cover, and then you look up and look for your next covered and or concealed position, and then you get up, you move, and you get down again. And then you again look for your next covered and concealed position, and it's the exact same type of mentality for this. So, for the most part, you can see a couple of different avenues from your safe spots, so to speak. and kind of try out each one and see if one works better than the other. So it's normally fairly linear, though.
You're back. And Imogene? So you did find her, and yet failed to bring her in. I'm looking forward to this explanation. If I'm not mistaken, you appear to be on her side. Not that I blame you, but if Imogen really wants to prove her innocence, she better be prepared to face a strict interrogation. Now, I need to undertake the laborious task of writing up a report to summarize all of this. In the meantime, Masako has requested your presence in R&D. She wants you to meet her in Vinakara's office. Once I've examined this evidence, I may need your help in moving forward. And not a word about this to anyone. I'll present what I have to the board once I've completed a full report.
So there was an optional there to confront Ularo. If you go do that, she's going to admit what happens, but it's going to be her word against yours. So you learn some more about the background, but it gives you an option to start siding with her if you want to talk to her and take her side in this whole thing. I wasn't going to do that, and I knew this was going to take me to the next quest in line, and we're going to head over that way.
Don't cause any trouble.
But we're not going to get to start that quest. This is the kind of ending couple of quests here to the faction, and I want to... We're out of time already on the quest, or I mean on the live stream, but I definitely wanted to save this for next time because I don't want to rush it. It's another complex stealth mechanic, but you're going to have some help on this with a couple of items that you're going to pick up here before you really get into the meat of the quest. So this is the key ingredient quest, and we're going to take a save here and get right into that on the next live stream. So that gives us a good place to stop. So CK nearly 100. Wow. Yeah, that would be happening this time of year for you. We came out of that, so we're now getting into the heating part. So, but yeah, stay cool, stay hydrated, and stay safe. So again, I'd like to thank everyone for being here this evening. Without your support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Jorval saying, until next time, fare thee well. The next one for this CK is going to be next Wednesday, but then again, we have the Baldur's Gate streams on Saturday as normal. So I hope to see you at any of them we go. And feel free to check the About tab on my channel for those exact streaming times. And you'll see them there in my local time as well as GMT, so you can make the adjustment in time from there. So again, thanks everybody. I'll see you next time.